In the dusty hills of Babylon, far from home, the prophet Ezekiel sat by the Kabar River, struck by a life-altering vision. His people were in exile, Jerusalem was in ruins, and hope felt far away. Yet, God spoke through Ezekiel, revealing awe-inspiring and terrifying visions, wheels within wheels, dry bones coming to life, and a valley of judgment. Each vision carried a warning and a promise. These visions urged the people to return to God before it was too late. Ezekiel's visions symbolized the spiritual decline and chaos of his time. The Israelites had lost their way, turning to idolatry and injustice. God warned that their current path would lead to ruin unless they changed. But he also offered hope, a vision of renewal and restoration. These messages resonate today, making us reflect on whether we are reliving Ezekiel's time. Today, echoes of Ezekiel's visions appear in current events. His vision of dry bones is striking. The bones symbolized a people spiritually dead and disconnected. We see communities suffering, families torn apart, and individuals grappling with loneliness. The dry bones of society are prevalent. People seek hope amid life's chaos, distractions, and shallow relationships. Yet Ezekiel's vision is hopeful. As he prophesied, the bones came to life through God's breath. This challenges us to bring compassion and purpose back into our lives, seeking God's Spirit to revive what feels lifeless. Ezekiel also witnessed idols in the temple, where foreign gods corrupted sacred worship. Today, our idols may not be statues, but they include wealth, power, and fame. Society increasingly worships status and materialism, distracting us from what truly matters. Ezekiel's vision urges us to dismantle modern idols and restore our focus on God. He also saw watchmen on the wall, tasked with sounding alarms when danger approached. The watchman's role was vital. Failing to act meant bearing responsibility for the consequences. Today, many raise alarms about social issues and moral decline. Yet, like in Ezekiel's time, it's often easier to ignore these warnings. The call to be a watchman remains relevant, urging us to be vigilant and advocate for justice. Ezekiel's later visions showed the restoration of the temple, symbolizing God's presence returning to his people. This vision provided hope in exile, reminding them that God had not abandoned them. For us, it reassures us that despite our brokenness, God is still at work, inviting us back to him and offering healing. The restored temple reminds us that there is always a way back to God, who desires to dwell among us. Ezekiel's visions serve as a wake-up call for all generations. As we face our challenges, his message encourages us to examine our lives, seek God earnestly, and heed his warnings. The echoes of his visions are present in our societal struggles and moral dilemmas. Are we heeding the warnings? Are we ready to turn back before it's too late? Ezekiel's story reveals that God desires restoration, not destruction. He calls us to rebuild, to breathe life into what is dry, to clear away idols, and to return to genuine worship. His visions challenge us to view our world through faith, act courageously, and trust that God works toward redemption. The choice is ours, as it was for Ezekiel's time, to embrace the call and let God's vision of restoration guide us.